Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for part 2 of ranking every burst weapon in Call of Duty history. If you missed part 1, be sure to click the link in the description or check out the card on the screen to go and watch that video first before you watch this one. Now in part 1 there were a lot of good weapons, but I wouldn't consider them to be the overpowered burst weapons of the Call of Duty franchise. Now that we are into part 2 of this series, we are going to be going over the truly amazing burst weapons in Call of Duty. But now let's go ahead and get back into this list. Starting at the number 23 spot, we have a very strong pick with the R3K in Infinite Warfare. This is a 3-round burst assault rifle with extreme accuracy and the easy ability to one burst an enemy. The aesthetic of this weapon is absolutely amazing, and the fact that it's an energy weapon makes it even cooler. This is definitely a strong burst gun to use, and it is a great way to start out part 2 of this list. At the number 22 spot, we have a burst weapon which the only word I can think to use to describe it is underrated. No one ever thinks or talks about the SWAT 3-round burst assault rifle from Black Ops 2 and how it is actually a viable option in that game. I mean, it does consistently get one burst kills, has great recoil, but the only reason I think no one talks about this gun is because of all the other amazing weapons in Black Ops 2, and that's understandable. But even though this weapon was overshadowed, don't sleep on it. This is an absolutely amazing 3-round burst weapon. Now at the number 21 spot, we have the final unlock of Black Ops 1 assault rifles, the G11. Now looks can be deceiving at first, and let's not lie to ourselves, this is an ugly gun. Probably takes the number 1 spot for the ugliest gun in Call of Duty history, but even though this gun isn't fun to look at, man, it is amazing to use. It has zero recoil honestly, and it can easily one burst from a distance. This thing really should have been talked about more, and I'm ashamed that more people don't know how awesome this thing is. I remember back in the Black Ops 1 days when I was like 10 years old, me and my friend were playing split screen, and he was teaching me how to snipe, and he told me, "You're not ready for a real sniper rifle yet. We're gonna start you out practicing with the G11 with the variable zoom scope." And just thinking back on that, I just think it's absolutely hilarious. But moving down to the number 20 spot, we have another M16, and this is going to be the Modern Warfare 3 version. There really isn't much to say about the M16s in Call of Duty except that they were all pretty great except for the one which shall not be spoken of. But other than that one bad exception, all the M16s are very good. I think compared to the other M16s in the franchise that are going to come up later on this list, this is probably the worst of them because of a slight inconsistency I noticed with hit markers while using it. But like I said earlier, that just could have been because of the bad connection due to playing a 10-year-old Call of Duty game. But either way, this is overall a slightly above average burst weapon, and it wasn't horrible. Moving down to the number 19 spot on the list, we have one of my personal favorite picks, and that is the ARX 160 from Advanced Warfare. Let's face it, with all the variants like the Hole Puncher and the Steel Bite, this thing was unstoppable. Easy one burst kills at long ranges with pinpoint accuracy. I think there are some better picks later on the list, but you can't deny the fact that this was a beast of a burst weapon. For the number 18 spot, we have the BO4 version of the M16, which turned out to be surprisingly good. Before I used it, I was quite iffy about it, thinking that it would be bad like the Advanced Warfare version of the M16, but this thing turned out to have a lot more damage and accuracy than I thought, so I put it higher on the list than I was originally expecting. But yeah, it's just overall a great M16. There's not much else to say about it. At the number 17 spot, we have another tactical rifle from Black Ops 4, and that is the ABR 223. This is an obvious remake of the AUG, and I absolutely love this thing back in Blackout, especially because of the damage range being insane. Once again, this gun, you can expect some easy one burst kills at long distances in multiplayer, and you're probably going to hear that sentence a lot more for the rest of the overpowered weapons on this list. Moving down to the number 16 spot, we essentially have the exact same weapon but in a different game, the AUG in Cold War. It's basically a copy and paste from the Black Ops 4 version, but I give this one the upper hand because there are a lot more attachments for it in Cold War, and in Black Ops 4 you had the 150 hit point system. In Cold War we don't have that, but yeah, in simple terms, this gun just wrecked. Moving down to the number 15 spot, we have the classic M16 from the original Black Ops, and Treyarch was really nice to the new players of Black Ops by allowing them to use this gun in a default class as a starting weapon in Call of Duty Black Ops. It was insanely good and held up very well to the other rifles in the game. It is definitely one of the best burst weapons in Call of Duty history. Now, people might be a bit mad at this number 14 spot because a lot of people consider this to be one of the best pre-patch burst weapons in Call of Duty, but I firmly believe that the MSBS from Call of Duty Ghosts is still a monster after they nerfed it. The recoil is tolerable and the damage is devastating. With the fast TTK in Call of Duty Ghosts, you can argue with me all you want, but you won't convince me that this thing is not still one of the best burst weapons in Call of Duty, even though a lot of people people deem it as trash after the nerf, but I just disagree with that. Moving down to the number 13 spot, we have the XR2 burst weapon from Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And I remember when Call of Duty influencers were playing the early builds of Black Ops 3, and this gun is all they would talk about with how overpowered it was. It did unfortunately get a nerf before launch, but it's still, up to this day, it is an awesome weapon. When the amazing gunsmith feature in Black Ops 3, you can deck this thing out with some awesome attachments to make it nearly unstoppable. And this gun will always be special to me, even though not a lot of people talk about it. At the number 12 spot, we have actually the newest member of the burst weapon family in Call of Duty history, and that is the Carve 2 in Black Ops Cold War. And all I can say is that this thing needs to be nerfed again. It is super good, deadly damage, stupid good accuracy, and right now I would consider it one of the top dogs in Cold War. And I do think this gun could be called a remake of the G11 from Black Ops 1 because it does very much resemble it, but I really suggest you guys go get your hands on this gun just in case they nerf it again. It is super good. At the number 11 spot, we actually have the only burst weapon in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and that is the FR556. This is essentially the FAMAS, which is actually one of my favorite guns to use in Modern Warfare. Like I said, this gun basically has everything there is to be a perfect burst weapon: good accuracy, good fire rate, awesome attachments in Modern Warfare with the crazy gunsmith system, and Infinity Ward really paid attention to the detail when making these guns feel real, and that just made it so much of a better experience. So that puts this gun at the number 11 spot. Now we've made it down to the top 10 burst weapons in Call of Duty history, and to start off at the number 10 spot, we have the 4-round burst gun from Black Ops 3, the M8A7. This is obviously a remake of the M8A1 from Black Ops 2, and compared to a lot of the other guns in Black Ops 3, I would rank this gun very, very high. It has virtually no recoil with amazing damage and amazing damage range, and it is very easy to get one burst kills with. I always loved using this gun with a suppressor in search and destroy, getting long range kills very quickly. Overall, this actually was not an embarrassing remake, and it really held up to the strong name of the M8A1 in Black Ops 2. At the number 9 spot, we have the only burst weapon in Call of Duty World War II, and quite an underrated weapon if you ask me, and that is going to be the ITRA Burst Assault Rifle. This is a 4-round burst DLC rifle that came into the game a while into its life cycle, and I don't think this gun is talked about enough. I personally think that this could be the best gun in Call of Duty World War II with its extreme fire rate, no recoil, and crazy damage. I've gotten almost all of my V2 rockets with this gun, and I would suggest going back to Call of Duty World War II to give this beast a try. Next, down to number 8, we have the M16 from Black Ops Cold War, and this gun probably could have been lower on the list due to some nerfs, but even after the nerfs on this gun, it is still one of the top guns in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So I did leave it pretty high on this list. We all know when Cold War came out, this was one of the main meta weapons, killing with pretty much one burst at ridiculous distances. It has been more balanced as time went on, but like I said, I still consider it to be one of the best burst weapons in Call of Duty history and one of the best weapons in Black Ops Cold War. Down to the number 7 spot, we have what arguably could be one of the most accurate burst weapons in Call of Duty history, or really, I think this is probably the most accurate weapon in Call of Duty history, and that is the IMR from Advanced Warfare. I truly love this gun for its look, its damage, its accuracy, its reload animation. It's overall just a stunning and all-around beast of a weapon. If you guys remember the weapon variants, it had the Thunder Tusk variant, and it had 0 recoil with that gun. It had +3 accuracy, and it could melt someone from across an entire map. This gun will go down as one of the best in my heart, and I really will never forget it. At the number 6 spot, we have the Swordfish from Black Ops 4. Treyarch always has its 4-round burst weapons all the way from Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 with the M8s, so I personally believe that they based the Swordfish off of those weapons. Now, this is a default class weapon for when you first start the game or when you first prestige, and man, it truly shows you how amazing it is. It's almost always a one burst kill, has a very good fire rate, and even though the Maddox and the SOG 9mm are the clear dominant weapons of Black Ops 4, me personally, I would take this weapon over any of the other guns in Black Ops 4, and it is truly deserving of being in the top 6 best burst weapons in Call of Duty history. Now at the top 5, we have the Black Ops 3 M16, and this weapon really surprised me with how good it was. I usually deem weapon remakes as not being good as the original versions, but this one proved me wrong. I guess I was just nervous with how terrible the Advanced Warfare remake of the M16 was, and that when they brought in the Black Ops 3, it would suck just like the Advanced Warfare version, but man, I was so wrong. This gun had insane fire rate, killed super fast, and that is, like I said, a very common factor you see with these top tier burst weapons, but some are simply just better than others, and this truly did the M16 name justice. Now you're gonna start noticing a trend because this next pick at the number number 4 spot is once again another M16, with this one being the Call of Duty 4 M16. The very first time we saw the M16 in the Call of Duty scene, and oh my goodness, was it unstoppable. Even in Call of Duty 4 Remaster, go play one match of that game and all you will see is people sniping across the map with this one burst kill monster. It was deadly accurate, killed faster than any other weapon in that game, and this gun truly goes down in Call of Duty, not only as one of the best burst weapons of all time, but just as one of the best guns in general of all time in Call of Duty history. Down to the number 3 spot, we have the first 4-round burst gun to enter the Call of Duty scene, and that is the M8A1 in Black Ops 2. If you guys were around for the launch of Black Ops 2, you will understand what I mean when I say this gun was overpowered. They actually had the patch that just recently after the launch of Black Ops 2, and it was basically the only weapon used on the competitive scene in Black Ops 2, which was actually at an all-time peak. You would see everyone using the M8 in their lobbies, even in the competitive scene, and lots of people deem this gun to be one of the best in Call of Duty history, and it truly is by a long shot. At the number 2 spot, we have the last M16 for this list that hasn't been mentioned yet, and that is going to be the Modern Warfare 2 M16. I remember randomly using this weapon one day for a video and dropping a 50 kill game with 0 deaths, and I felt like I had just found a secret superpower even though the game has been out for such a long time. I would honestly describe this weapon as underrated because I never hear anyone talk about how good it is. Maybe it's just me and it's not actually as good as I think it is, but I have not been proven wrong yet. So in my opinion, this is the second best burst weapon in Call of Duty history. If you haven't used it, I highly suggest going back and trying it out and let me know what you think. Now finally, after ranking 45 other burst weapons in Call of Duty, we have made it down to the number 1 spot with what I believe is easily the best burst weapon in the series. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a slight moment to take a guess what it is. Hopefully you get it right. Leave it in the comments and pause the video before going on. But it is the FAMAS from Modern Warfare 2. Virtually always a 1 burst kill, 0 recoil, and when I was just thinking about it, I genuinely don't think there's another burst weapon that compares to this one, even though, like I said, all of the good burst weapons in Call of Duty history have essentially the same description of what makes them good. I don't know why, but this one just takes the cake for how good it truly was. There are definitely some close contenders, but I think this is overall the best burst weapon in Call of Duty history. So there you guys have it. I have officially ranked every single burst weapon in Call of Duty from number 46 to number 1, from Call of Duty 4 all the way to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Like I said, hopefully I didn't embarrassingly miss any burst weapons in Call of Duty history, but I really don't think I did. But anyway, let me know if you agree with this list or not, or if you would like to make some changes to it. Like I said, this is my opinion, my opinionated list. I made this list based off my opinion, so obviously a lot of you are going to have a different one, but that is perfectly okay. There is no hard feeling. I would just love to see what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. It was super fun to make, super fun to go back and get gameplays and re-experience a lot of these weapons that I had forgotten about. But yeah, I really hope you guys have a blessed day. Check out my Twitter in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one.